Good evening. This is a tutorial where I finally could have had my flames. Explosions, but I have no fire or access to explosions, which is probably best. In this tutorial, I'm gonna be going over Immortan Joe, which was highly requested. Well, Mad Max generally was highly requested. If you guys saw the movie, let me know what you thought about it in the comment section below. Also, if you have any more requests from this film, also please list those characters below. All the products that you save are listed somewhere around the video. Also, don't forget to follow me on other social media, which will be listed in the description below. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, which the YouTube button just changed. It's on one of these sides. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to contact me. I'm starting off by sketching out the general shape of the mask. And you can just use an eyebrow marker or really whatever you have laying around. That is cosmetic. Using black and white body paint, I then mix a dark gray and I'm filling in the mask. And I'm sure you guys are probably like, Lex, that mask is not that dark. Oh, it gets more intense because the only way I know how to make metal is to make a mess. And I personally have figured it out by not really worrying about the outline and just kind of drawing in general chicken scratch of different shades of gray. Of course, you still want to try to concentrate the lightest gray with the highlights and the darker gray with the shadows. Over certain areas of highlights, I'm smudging on a very light brown shimmery shadow, as well as some white shimmer shadow. Metallic isn't necessarily exactly fully gray. To deepen the shadows more, I'm then taking a dark gray shimmer eyeshadow and just outlining the edges. Where the metal connects in the reference photo, I'm then taking black body paint and just drawing a line and smearing that out to create that shading. As well as filling in the hole on the nose and then also taking very dark gray body paint and adding that patch above the nose. To make everything stand out more, I'm then going in and highlighting using white body paint. And this is where it becomes beautiful. Makeup remover. I'm then using gray eyeshadow to generally outline the top of it. This is going to cast a shadow on your face to make it look more three-dimensional. And for right now, you can also use black body paint to go ahead and put where all the bolts are. For the teeth, I'm first filling them in with yellow body paint, and then I'm going over them with tan body paint to mute that down quite a bit. To add some texture and discoloration to the teeth, I'm using dark orange body paint. Using gray body paints, I'm very roughly sketching out these tubes. Very roughly. For this entire area, I'm then just outlining the jaw and using brown body paint to fill in everything else. Using a fine artist brush and black body paint, I'm then outlining my teeth as well as putting the bolts on my teeth and then doing almost what kind of looks like muscles. So I'm just adding striations above the teeth as well as around the sides and then filling in that almost open mouth type center. One of my favorite parts is highlighting, and I'm using light brown and it makes everything stand out. You can also use white body paint to make the outer edges of the metal pop. For the chin, I'm just kind of speckling in light gray body paint, then light brown body paint, filling it in with dark brown body paint, and then deepening that with black body paint. I'm then using a dark gray and filling in the tops of the tubes. Following up with a light brown underneath that, and make sure you overlap the metal part on the bottom. To shade the tubes themselves, I'm using dark brown eyeshadow and basically just shading on one side as well as creating the texture of the tubes. For the top part of the tube, I'm doing the same thing but shading with black. Once again, my favorite part is highlighting. And you can highlight the tubes using light tan body paint and then highlight the tops of the tubes using white. You can also go ahead and finish out your bolts using silver body paint. By this time, it's been a very long time you've been concentrating on details. You have all rights to jam out to Aerosmith. This character is pretty pale but not exactly white, so I'm going to be taking white body paint and smudging it into my skin. Compared to the rest of the mask, the eyes are pretty simple. I'm just using black body paint, very messily applying his eyes, and then also taking red eyeshadow and applying it underneath. For all of his wrinkles, I'm just taking a fine artist brush and filling them in with a light brown eyeshadow first, and then going in a little tiny bit with some gray. Also, to give him that rough texture, I'm using brown eyeshadow and gray eyeshadow just to add some shading and some spots to him. For my neck, I just went ahead and finished up the tubes, which is starting out with a light brown base and then shading with some darker brown, going back in and shading with even darker brown. The only difference is for the tubes on your chest, you're going to go ahead and add a shadow underneath that, and I'm using gray eyeshadow and making sure that I stay away from the tube itself. Adding some black closest to the tube is also going to add to that shading effect.